And Rocky Top, you know, I'll give it a pass.
Have you ever been to a bar when they're playing Rocky Top?
Oh, God.
Come on.
That'll get you going, too.
I always sing the Rocky Top, you'll always be last in the SEC.
What you got?
What it do, what it do. Welcome into the Common Fan. I'm Austin Dunston. That's Braxton Teal. We're joined again by Luke Bigler. And this week we have known Golden Corral hater, just a hater, Brandon Foriest. What's up, man?
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, absolutely. We're glad you're here. So you are a part of Langston Golf, another podcast, correct?
I would say a recurring guest, but yes.
Recurring guest. Okay, well, we've all got craft beers here. And why don't you go ahead and explain why we've all got them in front of us?
Yeah. So on Langston Golf, one of the things that we like to do to start the show out is each of us brings a beer. And it's normally one that we either have not tried or one of our favorites. If it's one that we have not tried, we'll give it a rating. We'll open it up, take one sip, and then say 1 through 10. And just tell you kind of where it's from, what it is, and a little bit about it.
Okay,
so
cool.
We decided to bring it to this show today. So if one of y'all want to start it out.
I got it. Who wants to start it?
I say you kick it off.
All right, I'll kick it off. Okay.
You're in the captain chair. So
I am in the captain's chair. I am the captain, per usual. And I have a pale ale, is what it's called, by our partners at Good People Brewing Company.
Shout out.
They're not our partners, but we have that, and I saw this, and I just thought it was a sign. So, you know, naturally I got it. Wow. But what it is, basically, is it says, our flagship pale ale balances the warm, delicate caramel tones of two-row and specialty malts with just the right amount of hops. Complex and versatile, the perfect pale anytime, anywhere, for any occasion.
We're just going to pretend everyone understood what
I have absolutely no idea what that means, but I saw the sign, and that's what I got. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a crack. I'm going to see if I can get it.
Might be worse than Golden Corral, just saying.
Dude,
ASMR for you.
whoa. Don't stop hating on Golden Corral.
Be the judge
This is
of
not
it,
the
bro.
show. All right, here we go. I'm going to try to pop it.
Oh, that was nice.
That was so satisfying.
That's unclean. All right, one sip. Everybody knows the rules. You know, I've been telling everybody I'm not a craft beer guy, but this is actually one of the better ones I've had.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like it's really not bad. It's super like
smooth.
it's kind of bitter, like really. I know that's not really a thing because I don't know beer at all, but I would probably buy it again just because, you know, it has the Good People Brewing Company on it.
There you go.
So I'm going to give it a scale of 1 to 10. As
right,
far as craft beers go, hold on, one sip.
2 sips.
That was 1. I'll probably give it like a 6.2 out of 10.
Okay. That's a little lower than I thought he would say.
Yeah.
But like I said, not a huge craft beer guy, but as far as they go, 6.2.
Respectable.
Okay.
Respectable.
All right, so I'll go next. I have a Honky Tonk Bardstown Bourbon Barrel Aged Stout beer. Why we picked this beer is the only reason we picked this beer is because it says serious beer for irrelevant people. And I feel like that fits me to a T.
100%. Me too, for sure.
So it's brewed in Tennessee, and then it's aged in a Kentucky bourbon barrel. 8% alcohol. We'll give it a go.
8%. Oh, a
Little squirt.
little backfire. A little backfire. Uh-oh. What is it?
It's not great. It's not great.
Pretty terrible.
So anybody that has ever drank beer with me before knows that I am a stout guy. I like dark beers. That's typically my go-to.
He's a Dunkel dude.
I'm a Dunkel dude. Every Titans game, I'm a Dunkel guy before we sit down. But that I would give like a 3.
Wow.
A 3?
Yeah.
Wow. What was it? What is it again?
It's a bourbon aged stout.
Don't get it. Honky tonk.
How
You
many
suck.
ounces is that can?
Too many.
Too many to get through, but we're going to do it.
Oh, that's a lot to pour out.
All right, Luke, take it over, man.
Alrighty, I went with a beer from the Mother Earth Brewing Company.
Where is that?
Yeah, that is in California.
Oh, shout out to
California.
Pacific Coast.
This is
Okay.
this is called Cali Creamin'.
Okay, anyway.
It's a vanilla cream ale, and here we go.
Dude, that sounds so good in
satisfying.
these headphones.
That definitely squirted my forehead.
And that's what she said. We've all been
Yes,
there.
I was going to say that. Okay, anyway.
This is a family show.
Yes, yes.
Well, if you like vanilla, you'll like this beer.
Is it just
So I
super
like it,
vanilla-y?
man. No, I like this beer.
Pretty
Yeah,
good?
no, it's
Is-
pretty vanilla-y.
Is it as good as like a 2002 vanilla Coke with peanuts in it?
No.
Okay.
What's the? I don't want to get into it. Never mind.
No.
I don't understand the
That'll take a
obsession
while.
with peanuts and Coke.
I've never done it.
I've never done it either.
Actually,
Right.
I've never heard
Right.
of that.
Really?
Good.
I've heard of it, but I've never done it.
Okay, but doesn't
All right,
matter.
all right, all
Brandon,
right.
your turn. Sorry.
No, what did you give a rating?
Oh yeah, you didn't give it a rating.
I mean, I give it like a 5. I'm not a big beer guy, to be honest with you. If you want a good drink, you drink some Crown Vanilla with Sprite.
Oh,
That's a good mix.
vanilla with Sprite,
Smooth.
Crown Vanilla.
not Crown Apple, Crown Vanilla.
Crown Vanilla with Sprite.
Interesting. I've never heard of it.
Crapple, you've got to
Great.
just drink straight.
Mixture.
Yeah. I don't like Crown. I don't like it. At
Have
all.
you tried Crown Vanilla and Sprite?
I've never even heard of that mixture. So
You should try it and then let me know.
all right, I will. I will let you know.
So
Well,
so far we've got
Next
a 6.2,
week on the Comet Fan.
a 6.2, a
Like
Three?
a 3 or
Right?
something.
and a 5.
Yeah.
So we're not doing too hot here.
No.
Our craft beer selection has been subpar.
3 and 5 is such like a lame number. No offense
doubt.
to you guys. I gave it a
doubt.
6.2. You know,
Yeah.
6.2, a 3, a 5.
I give it a 3-1.
There you go. Love it.
There you go.
It's perfect.
I give it a 5.
Sticking with the 5. All right, your turn.
Okay.
What'd you get?
So this is a blueberry citrus wheat, and it's from Dewclaw Brewing out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Let's go O's.
Yeah, picked this one because I was referred to a blueberry beer from a friend in Minnesota. So hopefully this one's as good.
Yes.
I really hope the viewers at home enjoy the
that.
ASMR that we have coming.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like every reaction's been the same. It's just been a, it's like
All right.
Okay.
It's okay. All right, what do you think?
Well, when you really take it in, I think that's just your natural reaction.
yeah.
So I will give it a 7.3.
Oh,
Wow.
That's up there, man.
It's good.
Raptor.
Really?
It's good. It's a great summery beer.
Yeah.
And it's
Summery
one
beer.
that I feel like the female population will appreciate more as well. It
Interesting.
definitely has that blueberry flavor in it. I would say it's more blueberry than the one from Minnesota, less beery, but still very good.
Less berry or less beery?
Beery.
Both.
More like
Berry and beery.
less like beer.
Gotcha.
More like berry.
Yeah, well, there you have it. That's Bring Your Beer, brought to you by Langston Golf. Go check it out. Where can you find that your podcast?
So on any of the podcast platforms or on YouTube, you can just search Langston Golf and it should pop up.
Awesome, awesome. Well, it's a golf pod, so we have about 3 minutes left in this segment. So we actually kind of brought up something before the show that we think is an interesting question. So I believe you saw something on Twitter that was what makes a golf hole a good hole.
Yeah.
And so I think we all have different opinions, but I kind of want you to start because you obviously are the golfer of the group.
Okay. I wouldn't say I'm the golfer. I probably enjoy golfing
Yeah.
a lot.
Okay.
but,
Sure.
Maybe not the golfer, but
He's definitely the golfer.
Yeah, 100%. I shot like 120 today or something crazy. So
well, if you golf with me, you know the only reason that my scores are even close to low is because I drive the ball really far.
okay.
Retweet.
Which is kind of funny because what I find in a good golf hole is a hole that doesn't allow you to drive the ball really far.
Interesting. Yeah.
I want a hole that has a hazard that stretches from like 280 to 310, something that you can't bring that big stick out and just crush it down the fairway.
Love the big stick.
Love the big stick. It's my favorite club in the bag. But when you have to bring like a 2-iron off the tee or even less than that and find a smart spot to lay up to approach the green,
Okay.
that's what I find in a good hole.
That is kind of out of left field. Luke, I don't know if you play. Do you play golf?
No.
So
I wish, man. No, I don't.
So a good golf hole to you is
Good
a
golf
hole
hole to
with
me
beer on
is the one like at the beach whenever you can go putt-putt.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
okay.
That's
There
my
you
type
go.
of golf.
When
Yeah.
the cart girl
There
shows
you
up.
go.
Yes,
Yeah.
something like that.
those are the best holes. Braggs, what about you?
So good golf hole to me is I love the par 4 that you can cut the corner. So like that
doubt.
you know, if you think you have the distance to get there, you can cut the corner
the distance.
and risk it for the biscuit. Or you can play safe and just knock it straight up the fairway.
Yeah.
I really enjoy those kind of holes.
Well, I enjoy two kinds of holes. I enjoy the ones that are easiest. Okay, wait. Gonna just move past that one. I enjoy the ones that are extremely easy, straight on, wide open. You can't lose your ball. That's amazing. But really, since I'm a lefty, I have a natural slice to the left, right? I love the holes that are like straight for a minute and dog left. So like the opposite of it, because I'm usually going to hit that like a pretty good drive off the tee box from that because it's just natural. And whoever I'm playing with is a righty, and they'll probably just go into the woods or something. Yeah. So yeah, that's actually mine.
Sweet.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a great way to take us into our first break. We will be right back with more Common Fan. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I was just channeling my inner Bob Ross. Well, I've got your attention. You should go ahead and follow The Common Fan on Twitter, @TheCommonFan. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram, @TheCommonFanOfficial, as well as YouTube, The Common Fan Official. All podcast platforms are just The Common Fan. We'll be right back.
All right, boys and girls, welcome back to The Common Fan. And, kind of news in sports this week is baseball is finally back.
Let's go! Luke's hype.
So, obviously, huge joke of a process between the Players Association and I'm not going to call him the worst commissioner in the league quite yet.
I will.
But obviously, huge joke of a process. So, we were kind of spitballing ideas this week about what we should talk about. And we were kind of talking about the whole commissioner process in sports in general. And quite honestly, I don't know if you can point a finger at a really good one out there, but we were kind of talking about who do you think is the worst of the worst running the show. So I'm going to pitch it to one of you guys. Brandon, why don't you kick us off? Who do you think is the worst commissioner in sports?
So my take on this is probably different than most of y'all's. I'm going to have to go with Adam Silver, NBA commissioner.
Really?
I am.
There's a lot of people that think he's the best.
There are a lot of people, but again, it's one of those things that you kind of have to look at what source is saying what.
Exactly, yeah.
To stay as far away from politics as possible in it, his handling of so his biggest thing is he's trying to grow the league, which every commissioner wants to do.
Sure.
Like, I get that. But one of his biggest things is he wants to take it to China. And so the big handling of this whole China thing,
which has been going on for a while,
kind of backfired in his face, I think. So, the whole thing, he went over there and they ended up not. They didn't talk against communism, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the ratings just plummeted. As a matter of fact, the highest ranked game in the last 10 years was from 2016. There wasn't even a game in the top 5 highest rated in the last 3 years.
Yeah. Wow. That's so true. Like, okay. The NBA is kind of a joke.
To be honest with you,
kind of a joke.
NBA is irrelevant to me.
Exactly. I could not care less about
that. It is the one professional league that I hands down am watching college ball over every time. I love college football as much as the next guy, but I love the Titans as well.
Let's go Titans.
I don't have an NBA team.
But they do a great job, though, of marketing their individual players.
They do.
Like a lot of people aren't like you don't have a bunch of people that are like Knicks fans, Heat fans, all that. They follow players. So
that's true.
I got my LeBrons last week. Got a new pair of KDs on.
Exactly.
It's really one of the only major sports where you can have a LeBron James just absolutely carry a team. You know what I mean? Like everything else is really truly a team sport, and so is the NBA. You have to have role players. But when you think of the Cavaliers winning, you think LeBron James and Kyrie. It's like there's two, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? So I get like how it's easier for them to push a brand of a player instead of a team as a whole.
But when the star player has more Instagram likes than the game has views, the league's not doing very well.
That's a
God,
okay, Luke, what do you got, man? What do you think? What do you think about sports? Who you hate?
I mean, if you tuned in to the episode last week, you pretty much know where I stand on Rob Manfred.
You love him.
He's also a joke. I'll say that.
Dude,
he's canceled.
Bozo the clown, man. The guy's terrible. Like he completely dropped the ball on getting a deal worked out between the MLB and the MLBPA earlier than we finally got this deal going. But he completely dropped the ball to where baseball could have been the sport on, the only thing on.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever people were starving for a sport,
something.
Anything.
people would have. He talks about wanting to grow the game, and he wants to grow the game by making games shorter, by taking it from a 3-hour game to a 2-hour and 40-minute game now. He thinks that's going to grow the game. But no, growing the game is going to be getting your guys on the field and playing. And it's apparent that they could have had a deal worked out, but everybody was trying to get the most out of the deal, which I guess I kind of get it. But it wasn't for the sake of the game. And I hate Rob Manfred.
And one thing that strikes me and that I hate is, I can't speak for Adam Silver, but Rob Manfred and just honestly a lot of the commissioners across the board is they're not sports guys at all.
No.
They are businessmen. I did some research on Manfred, and I know he has a degree in Harvard Law, and he had a career in like labor and employment law.
Whoop-de-doo, says Luke.
But my dude couldn't start in right field on the worst Little League team in the nation.
No, not even on the bench warmers.
No, he couldn't start for anybody. The guy's
Banger
not
movie.
a sports guy.
No.
I don't know. It's hard to have somebody directing a sports league that could care less about sports.
Yep.
I mean, I understand finances are a huge part of it, but if you could care less, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Hey, he grew up a Yankees fan.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more, though.
because he was from New York.
He took a huge, not even a swing. He watched the third strike.
Dude.
Because I think we kind of touched on this a little bit, and we'll touch on it a little bit again, is baseball is continuing to fall, and this was a great chance to grab a new audience and make people excited about it again. And he just freaking,
Dude, we have so many good, great young players.
Yeah. That'll be exciting to watch.
Probably more than any era since the steroid era.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. Like almost every team has at least a guy.
Yeah.
A guy to where you want to watch this guy play. And, we've just been kind of sitting around for 3 months, twiddling our thumbs, trying to figure something out. And, thank God they finally landed on a deal. But, it was just a big chess match. And I'm just glad they finally got something taken care of.
Yeah, we finally have sports back, man. It's something to look forward to for sure. Roger Goodell. Clowning himself. Clowning himself, dude. Even though he looks just like my dad. My dad out in public.
My God.
He gets called out for Roger Goodell all the time.
He does. I've never noticed that.
Have you never noticed that?
No. Like, now that you said it, I'll never be able to unsee it.
He'll go to Titans games, and people will stop him, actually thinking he's
Mr. Goodell. Oh, my gosh.
He's been
suck.
called it 1,000 times. So Goodell did some research on him, too. He did play football, basketball, and baseball in high school. Didn't play a collegiate sport, probably because he wasn't good enough to. He is the son of a senator, which means he's been some rich white-collar dude his entire life.
Had to work for it.
But one interesting thing that I found about him that not a lot of people probably know, and if I'm wrong, please correct me, but from my understanding, he has a bachelor's degree in economics, and that is it. Which I feel like that's kind of cool.
I mean, but you're the commissioner of the biggest professional sports organization in North America.
So what we're saying is that I got a bachelor's in business administration and management.
You're next.
Rob Manfred, I'm coming for you.
Let's go.
Luke Bigler for MLB commish.
That's right.
2021.
So, right in.
Why do you think Goodell is hated?
Man, to be honest with you, there's just not a move that he makes, or honestly any of these commissioners make, that really makes sense to me in terms of growing the game or making it more enjoyable for the fan.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's done a lot in terms of player safety and things like that, but at the same time, I feel like most of these big-time decisions that are getting made are coming more from the Players Association than they are from the offices of the sports league itself.
So do you feel that these commissioners are all puppets?
Oh, 100%.
Last week?
I
believe so.
I would
100%.
strongly argue that the Players Association is the only reason that safety protocol has gotten better in the NFL.
Yeah.
But it's not their problem if the players get hurt.
Yeah, if you look at it, that's from the concussion, hiding the concussions, to the whole Ray Rice situation, and then the Deflategate to where it looked like he was just trying to get Tom Brady in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, right off the bat, 3 pretty big scandals, we'll call them scandals, to his name.
Yeah.
You could argue that he's definitely the most hated.
I just feel like Goodell's a coward, man.
Yeah.
I feel like, there's people
Golly, that's like that's big word.
Well, he is. He is.
Explain.
Okay, so take the Dave Portnoy
I was just
story
about
for
to say
chance,
that.
right? So during COVID, they had this huge online different auctions and things like that. And one of the things that Goodell did was he auctioned away for charity a night to come and watch Monday Night Football in his basement, which is his man cave.
Okay.
Watch a game in his man cave with Goodell. So Dave Portnoy, hating Goodell, he was like, I'm winning this auction. So he put up I don't know exactly.
$250,000.
How much was it?
$250,000.
$250,000.
Wow.
$250,000. Okay.
Cool, $250,000.
Won the auction and then was all hyped just because he got kicked out of the Super Bowl, just because Goodell hates him. He was ready to sit down with him and be like, dude, what's up?
Yeah.
And then Goodell pulls some bylaw of he didn't pass a psychiatric or some kind of safety test and didn't see him fit to sit with him in his own house.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
So Portnoy decided that he was going to have a We Hate Goodell party right down the street from his house and invite as many people as he could.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I love the Portnoy Goodell battle, even though it's kind of like a silent, unheard of kind of thing. I just really wish Portnoy would get the chance to sit down with him and be like, you're a coward.
That would be insane.
That would have been one of the highest viewed pieces of television in the last 10 years.
100%. But that's a great place to end the second segment.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
Play that music.
The Common Fan is brought to you by Waltz Free Hand Sanitizing Lotion. It protects you up to 4 times longer than gel and won't crack or dry your hands. Try it out at store.avcare.com. Welcome back into the Common Fan. If you haven't already, be sure to check out Waltz Free at store.avcare.com. It's hand sanitizing lotion. During these times, you got COVID, you don't want to get sick. It's lotion for your hands that also sanitizes. There's no alcohol in it. Yeah. It's awesome stuff. Use code TCF20 for 5% off. Support the brand, support the boys.
Let's go.
Let's see what you got. Okay, Waltz Free. So what we were getting into over the break is we're all kind of washed up ball players.
Not kind of.
Okay, we're all washed up
We're
ball
washed
players. But one thing that we loved about sports is I loved my walkout song. Yeah. I loved having a song that when I heard it, it got me in the zone. So it kind of led to the conversation. Well, what about other songs that we like with sports? And on the opposite end of the spectrum, what songs do we absolutely hate with sports? So do you guys have any songs that you hear in a stadium and you're like, I love it, or I absolutely cannot stand it?
100%.
What do you got, Ray? Okay, you look like you're eager.
Go, bro.
Well,
He's I hate one or love one.
Well, music sets the atmosphere. Obviously, you have the fans that are going to get loud and things like that, but the fans react to the music played in the stadium. So some common ones that come straight to the mind for me, Seven Nation Army at the tip of a basketball game.
Wait, which one?
Oh. Yeah. I think that's big in soccer too.
I think that was also our high school football song.
Really?
Probably.
We did the little
Sweet
axe.
Caroline.
Oh, yeah.
The Red
Yeah.
Sox.
Ooh,
Sweet
Van
Caroline.
Oh,
sing a
yeah,
part
that
for
one
us?
is good.
No, I haven't vocally warmed up yet, but I think those are two that really stick out to me. And then fight songs as well for football, things like that. Obviously, Rocky Top
The best.
is the best fight song
See,
there ever was.
I think if I heard it, whenever I hear it, whenever I'm actually at Neyland, I like it. But whenever I'm not in Neyland,
oh yeah,
turn
It's
it
still the
down
best.
a notch.
Hear me out, okay? You guys know I cannot stand the Tennessee Volunteers.
he's lying.
I cannot stand. Yeah, boo the Vols. You're right. But when the last time I was in Neyland, man, there's really nothing like hearing 102,730 or whatever it is.
102,455.
Well, how much smaller is that than Michigan? It doesn't matter. Anyway, there's nothing like hearing all those people sing that song.
Oh, yeah. Gives you chills, man.
It's
Cool.
great. I
It's
love
cool.
I love when crowds sing in unison. I think it's
Yeah.
so cool. But Neyland, that's a very special place. And Rocky Top, I'll give it a pass.
Have you ever been to a bar when they're playing Rocky Top?
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Come on.
That'll
No.
get you going, too.
I always sing the Rocky Top, you'll always be last in
Hey, Luke.
the SEC.
What you got?
Okay, sorry.
I mean, man,
Sorry.
for fight songs, I mean, I'm an Auburn fan, and I mean, whenever they sing "Living on a Prayer" in
Oh,
the
yeah?
stadium,
Okay.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm
it's
also,
pretty
I'm
dang
also
cool.
curious. Are y'all the Tigers or the Eagles?
We're the
both.
Tigers. I can give you a little history lesson real quick if you would like. It'd be
No.
real quick, lickety split. So basically, what happened was I can't remember the year, but it was one of the first years Auburn was playing football. They were playing Georgia Tech, and that we were losing in the fourth quarter. I can't remember the score, so I guess I'm not that big of a fan. But as we started to march our way back into the game, an eagle was flying around the stadium, right?
Oh.
And whenever we won, it actually died on the field.
No way. Okay. Died?
Dude,
Like straight
GTS,
up,
bro.
just out.
Yeah.
Google it, bro.
Died. Like it just.
I wasn't.
No, it
I
just
wasn't
fell.
there. I wasn't there. I don't know, but
I will say you're the first Auburn fan that I've ever said that to that's actually had a response. So good for you.
Huh.
Could be made up, but good for you.
Weagle, war damn eagle.
Okay.
Kick him in the butt, Big Blue. So, but yeah, so living on a prayer, if you're at Auburn, is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Bon Jovi is just a cool dude to listen to anyway.
Yeah.
But,
I get that.
but what you got,
What
man?
about Brandon?
Yeah. So going back to Braxton and I are really big UT fans. The only good thing that Butch Jones brought to
Brick by
Tennessee,
brick, baby.
other than the players,
Life
who
champions,
ended up
baby.
underperforming, was third down for what?
Yeah.
You were in the stadiums for that. It
Bro,
was,
it was
so
so
rowdy.
high.
It was rowdy.
so
It was like every
Are-
drive, I mean, y'all always were hitting third downs. Like,
Are y'all?
That's when we were on
it
defense.
got
Yeah,
overplayed.
we had
really?
one of
Yeah.
the best third down stop percentages in the country that year, though, too.
I can't
So-
wait. Are you being
Let's do it, man.
sarcastic?
No, we actually did.
No, about the song.
No.
I can't imagine anybody hearing Lil Jon go third down for what and being like, "Yeah, man, I'm
Bro.
freaking hype,
You
bro."
get some beer in you and get
When-
around.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
When you
that's
tell a
couple
I was
down.
there when Tennessee lost to Arkansas last time they played by maybe a touchdown. I don't know. It was a loss for the Vols. They lost.
Hey, did we win or lose? I couldn't remember.
I think they lost. But every time that played, I just remember thinking, like, this is the most annoying thing
Yeah,
in the
because you
world.
hated it.
True.
Because
Okay.
you couldn't hear
So
yourself.
did it
Yeah.
do what it was supposed to do?
See, I don't know. Did the players like it?
I would imagine.
I think so.
Oh,
I think
AJ
anything
Johnson
that would
was
get the
jumping up
crowd.
and down.
Yeah,
See,
man.
like,
Oh.
but that's
Kurt
another thing.
Magid just-
Yeah.
You also got to think, like, I'm biased because I don't like the Vols, so I hear that and I'm like, man, that sucks. But if
Right.
I were to love the Vols, would I have been like, yeah, like you, been like, you know what, that's freaking awesome.
yeah, if the Razorbacks did it, you might have a different opinion on it.
Well, see, teams,
that's very
teams
true.
that
They would never get to
have a
play
third
it,
down
so.
on the Razorbacks. They just every first down. Who
First
plays
down,
the first
first
down?
down. First down,
Yeah, that's
first down,
about usually
first
that's pretty much how it
Toledo.
goes. Dude, whenever Doug's went to Toledo, that's all I thought it was. Braxton. The year we lost to Toledo, Toledo. I didn't even bother texting him when y'all lost to Georgia Southern maybe last year. Who was it? Just South Georgia.
State,
Georgia,
Southern, something
Georgia
like that.
State. That's what it was. Okay, but it doesn't matter.
They ended
But
up winning like 10 games that year. It's fine.
I was gonna go with my least favorite, which was that.
Yeah.
But as far as like just songs that I hear in a stadium that I really like, it kind of, I don't really have one specifically. You guys kind of all hit the nail on the head with your picks. So let's kind of get into our walkout songs because we all played baseball, right?
Right.
So what was y'all's walkout song? I guess you had like a pitching song,
Yeah,
right?
What do they call it? It's
Feel
not necessarily walk out. It's
I don't know what it's called.
or no, it's
Warm-up
walk
song or
out
something
versus
like that?
walk up or something.
Walk
like
up,
that.
yeah.
So mine would play for like a minute and 20 seconds or something like that, which is a lot harder to find a song that you like for a minute and 20 seconds compared to 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So in college, I had, you've probably never heard it. It's called I'm Feeling Good by Nina Simone. It's a Bass Nectar remix.
Well,
I was a big,
is that
big
that one?
whoa guy in college. I liked the electronic music. So, no,
He
that
actually
one
was a DJ.
let's not get
What? Run that back. Run that back.
Yeah,
DJ.
Braxton Teal was a DJ.
I used to not really DJ, man. I used to play around on the back of the bus on these 12-hour road trips. I used to try to mix music and all that crap.
DJ Braxy T. I love it.
DJ Tober.
Yeah, so we'll kick it to Luke because I'm getting red.
It's probably because it's hot right now.
Oh,
It's
you're
burning up.
It is pretty hot in here.
So yeah, man. In college, my walkout song was actually "Work" by ASAP Ferg.
Okay.
Oh, put him in the dirt.
Yeah, I like that,
To the
man.
socks. I like that one too.
You know, I went where I was at school. You know, I wanted to get something that could get the crowd a little into
So
it.
Crowd
I don't want to
bumping.
interrupt, but do you feel like obviously everybody has different opinions, but do you feel like a walkout song, and I think it's different for every player, but do you think it should be something that hypes you up? Does it put you in that like nice calm mindset?
I think it is completely individualized.
I think so,
like,
too.
I mean, man, because there were times where I wanted to change my song that day to like "Jammin'" by Bob Marley. Like, I was feeling really chillin' vibe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm not really trying to get like over antsy, but yeah, man, I think it's all.
I
just,
feel like as a hitter, man, like if you're going 0 for 4 and you got to get up there that 5th time, you've already struck out 3 times, and you've got this like jamming song going. I feel like
You just look up to the press box.
Dude,
You're just like,
the coolest thing
not
that
this time.
happened
Just cut it.
with
Just cut
walk up music, man, in college one time, the year I was coaching, actually, we had this kid that could just rake.
yeah.
But he was doing terribly. And me and actually Taylor Ellis told him, we're like, bro, we're changing your walkout song. We're just doing it. Like, you're going to do whatever we do. We got to change something. And we changed it to, can't remember the name of the song, but it gets like, bum, bum. Do what bum, bum. It's some kind of something
No
about
idea.
bomb.
Big fan of that song.
No idea
Anyways,
what you're talking
it's from the interview. If you've ever seen the interview,
Oh, God.
it's
Could you
on
do that
there.
again?
It talks about dropping
run it
bombs on there, and he hit a bomb that
Really?
next pitch.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Dude.
yeah,
that's
and then the
pretty
kid said he wanted to change it back to his old one. And whatever.
What a nerd.
But
Dude, I feel
Loser.
like
Oh,
rituals that can get you out of slumps, that could be a full segment. That are like, there's so many
yeah.
like weird juju things that you can do to get out of slumps that are so
No
cool.
doubt.
But Brandon, what you got, man?
What
What
you
was your
got?
walkout?
So I was one of those hitters. I was a dual guy, so I had a pitching song and
Yeah.
a hitting song. When I was pitching, I wanted to be zoned in. I wanted to be locked in, so it was kind of just one of my favorite songs at the time, and it would change really week to week. My hitting song was always something that I wanted to just hype me up. I wanted to be like literally just all balls to the wall energy when I was in the box. And so I always played Drop the World by Lil Wayne.
Oh,
And
okay.
I loved it. It actually came from senior year of football in high school. We would play that before every game as soon as we walked out of the locker room. And when you've got the whole team sitting there jumping up and down for it, it really kind of hypes you up. And so every time I would hear it, that's what I would think
kind of bring the feeling
Yeah.
back for you.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we're out of time on this segment, but I'm going to give mine real quick. I had a different walk-up song every year I played.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, but it was always by Mike Stud. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. Do you guys know who Mike Stud is?
I do.
You do. You don't know who he is? He
No.
was an ex-Duke baseball player, and he turned into like
Okay,
a,
yes,
yeah.
I do know.
He's hooked
Yeah.
up with Marcus
Yeah.
Stroman.
Yeah,
Marcus
and,
Stroman do a lot
yeah.
together.
So one time it was not by Mike Stud. You probably haven't heard it. One time it was the one featuring Marcus Stroman, and it was Marcus Stroman's part. And it
Yeah.
was because I had labrum surgery, and he talked about his ACL incision. It was like legendary comeback or whatever. And I was like, man, I relate to this song so well. So I picked that one. But it was always something that was, for me and locked me in. And when I heard the song, I would be like, okay, it's time. It's time to like
doubt.
lock in. But anyway, that's a great place to end it. We'll be back with the final segment of The Common Fan right after this.
Play that again.
Welcome back into The Common Fan. This is the last segment, and we are going to be talking about football. And not just any football.
Foosball.
Foosball. No, COVID football. Because what's going to happen this fall when it's football season? It's football time in Tennessee, and, nobody's in the stadium. Nobody's in the stands. What is it going to look like this fall?
Temperature checks between every play.
Yeah,
Hell no.
that would be awful.
Are they going to put like induced crowd noise in there, like through the speakers?
I don't
I
know.
bet some
So
teams
I
will.
saw an interesting thing. So UT put out their yearly budget. We'll go back to Tennessee again, just being a Tennessee fan. They put out their yearly budget, and in the budget, it talked about fans being in the stadium. So colleges are fully preparing for full capacity stadiums.
Really?
And I think NFL, you know, they announced this past week that they were going to take, I don't know how many rows it was, but the first couple rows in the stadium are going to be tarped up. First 6 rows, we're getting word from our producer. First 6 rows are going to be tarped up. So yes,
With
they can. Yeah, they can sell that as advertising. Yeah. But good God, can you imagine if your PSLs, if your season tickets were in those first 6 rows?
Yeah,
and where do you go? Do they move you to club? Do they?
They literally would have to move me to club and reimburse me like 2/3 of it before I was
better be reimbursement going on.
What are they trying to accomplish with the first 6 rows?
Well, so that fans can't be that close to the players.
Oh, so fans don't get the player. I was thinking more like fan to fan. I was like, that doesn't like. I don't understand.
In NFL stadiums, dude, isn't that like a pretty far distance away?
It is.
Well, but you got to remember after every play, like if a running back, you know, runs in a touchdown.
Think like the Lambeau leap.
Yeah, they jump into the fans.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So the
That's a good point.
teams can control what the players are doing, and they can test them every week. But you can't do 60,000 tests and wait for results. So
plus, down by the tunnels, you know, after the game, all the fans just hoard the tunnels, you know, hoping to get a glove or somebody's sweaty towel or something like that. But there's a lot of contact there as well, which it makes sense, but...
Do y'all think fans will be in the stadium?
I will
Dude,
be.
I hope so.
Itching.
Would y'all be in the stadium right now if football is playing right now?
Dude, I'd have been in the stadium.
100%.
Yes. I don't know if there was a point where I ever would have not gone to a stadium.
I'm with you. And I think that's the common theme among fans. And I think that's where the difficulty of being a league commissioner comes in right now, because it's like, do you fall into the media hype and you're like, oh, nope, fans aren't going to be there? Or do you fall into what the fans want to do? Because at some point, you've kind of got to just get back to...
But you don't want to be that guy that gets all the fans back in and then an outbreak happens in your sport.
Right.
But I think that's where all the precautions that they're talking about now come into play.
I mean, it's always better safe than sorry. You know,
it is.
Especially when you're facing things that could come, like, bring up a lawsuit. Like, you know, there's somebody out there that would show up to an NHL postseason game or football. I guess we're on football, and you know, get COVID and sue the Tennessee Titans just to be that guy.
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
Like, unless you had them sign a waiver, like when they bought the ticket.
So
like,
that could be a deal.
That
could be. I mean, I would see that being a very realistic possibility.
Because that way, you're only getting the people there that actually want to be there. You know what I mean? Like, if you really want to go and you go at your own risk and you acknowledge that you're not going to sue if you get it, like, you really want to be there. And I think the crowds would be even more into the game.
Yeah.
Because that's who wants to be there.
Here's an interesting take on it. You know, there's a bunch of players that get paid per how many games they play in. Like, that's part of the contract.
Right.
Does COVID all of a sudden become workers' comp? Like, if you contract COVID and you miss 2 games because you've got to do your 14-day quarantine, all of a sudden, can you file for workers' comp for that and then get reimbursed those 2 games?
So one thing that I heard this week, I'm going to shout out the boy Ramon Foster. Brandon knows who I'm talking about. We go way back. Ramon was a offensive lineman for the Steelers for many, many years. Also a UT Vol. Go Big Orange. That's right. But Ramon's a really cool guy, and he was on 104.5 The Zone this past week on my way home.
3HL,
yeah, that's right.
Or what?
3HL.
Shout out to my guys.
I was listening to him on the way home, and he was talking about, you know, Ramon was the Players Association appointee of the Steelers for the past several years. He retired this past year, but he was talking about, you know, say you're well into the season and you're in a playoff push, and we'll say, I think he used the Aaron Rodgers, but say Russell Wilson or these superstar quarterbacks, okay? Ryan Tannehill.
Stud.
Let's go. Say you are 1 game away from the playoffs and he tests positive for that week.
He go.
But what if he's like, yeah, you better not tell anybody that I tested positive.
Yeah.
Tells those trainers like, hey, you ain't telling anybody. Here's $20,000 to not tell anybody. I'm playing this week.
I'm going to say a league official is going to be administering.
They would have to.
They would have to.
They would have to.
Have you guys seen the like makeup of the mask helmets that people were talking about?
Yes.
Do you? What are the odds those get worn?
No shot. Do you know how hot
Have you?
I know it's going to fog up the vibe. It's going to be awful.
But you know, Alvin Kamara would end up turning it into a fashion statement.
It'd be like a thing.
He'd
like
make his own line of masks
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, I don't know what obviously I wear one for work for at least 10 hours a day.
Right.
And breathing in that thing, it's not awful, but I couldn't imagine trying to run or do any type of sports activity because I'm sweating just walking around.
Yeah.
But I just can't see it happen. And plus, I think in New York a couple weeks ago, there was a guy that was like training for a marathon or something like that. And he went on a run in a mask and ended up dying because he like had a heart attack because he couldn't breathe in this mask.
Take the mask off, bro.
Right?
Was he running by himself?
I'm about to say,
why was he wearing a mask?
That's like the people that drive in their car by themselves
with the mask on, man.
I'm like,
Zero sense.
I know you're.
I'm like,
Zero
not going to
sense.
get yourself.
You don't even
sick.
get the point.
Yeah. So that kind of brings me to what I thought up for my third strike. So we're getting close to the end. This is pretty much it. So we're going to do our third strike. Brandon, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. So my third strike, I cannot stand when fans of teams yell at a player for transferring out of their team, and then love when a coach leaves a contract early to come to their school. It's like a little hypocritical there.
Yeah.
You either
example?
like both sides of it. Off the top of my head, no, but there were countless really big transfers this last season. What was the guy that was at Georgia that's now Patterson that went to Michigan?
Yeah.
Those people were or Ole Miss. He was at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I can't
Those people
stand
were
them.
so mad. And then when Lane Kiffin came in and left the deal early, they were like, "Yes, we got the greatest up and coming coach ever." Like,
yeah.
Come on, you can't ride both sides of the fence. That's
Ultimately,
That's a good one.
50-year-old Twitter comment
Boomer.
shadow box people, quit hiding.
Yep.
Just throwing out opinions because you're protected by a
Keyboard
screen.
warrior.
Ooh, Luke, what you got?
My third strike is directed towards the Ricketts family, who's they own the Chicago Cubs.
Okay.
Oh.
It is time for Sammy Sosa to be back at Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
He has been gone for too long. It is a crock of crap that he has not been back. He inspired a generation of Cubs fans to be Cubs fans, people that come and spend money to watch you guys play on the Marquee Network, and people that pay money to come watch Wrigley Field. It's atrocious that he is not a part of the Cubs family anymore.
No.
And
I'll insert Pete Rose there too.
don't get me started on Charlie Hustle, man. I could go for hours about this. Barry
dude.
Lamar Bonds. Okay. Pass it to Braxton.
All right, man.
what you
Building
got?
off baseball, man. Ultimately, we saw this 60-game season they're about to have. We're going to have a DH for both the AL and NL, and I think it's time. I think it's time to take that transition that there is finally a DH in the NL.
Let's
I
do
know,
it.
I know there's going to be some haters out there, but, bro, I'm tired of seeing such a different game between two divisions when the records matter so much. It's an instant out 90% of the time for the NL, but the AL's got your best hitter up there.
Who
stroking home runs.
really wants to watch Adam Wainwright hit?
Nope, not me.
Who really wants to watch
It's
that?
a part of the game. It's tradition, and I'm very much a tradition guy, but it's got to go.
We got to grow the game,
I
bro.
wish the pitchers all would have to hit.
Anyway, my third strike is kind of a PSA. So I want you to look me in the eyes right now, okay? PSA, a mask, unless it has a filter, does not protect you. It protects people around you, okay? It protects you from giving people what you have. It doesn't protect you from getting anything unless it's the special one with the filter. Stop being dumb. Don't be stupid. Just wear the mask when you have to. Okay?
We got breaking news here on the podcast.
Oh, what's
by the
that?
way.
What is it?
So just came across my Insta feed. Per Sports Center, Cam Newton has signed a 1-year deal with the New England Patriots.
The Patriots. Oh, dude, I love it.
Just when you thought they were gone.
Trevor Lawrence, I hate it for you, bro.
Oh, man. But
It's just a 1-year deal.
Bro.
They'll win the Super Bowl.
They're gonna win some
Hot
games
take.
now.
New third strike. Patriots in the Super Bowl with
dare
Scam
you,
Newton, my
bro.
boy. Love him. All right, well, that's a great place to end the show, guys. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on, Luke.
Thank you.
Brax, you're always here.
I hate it. I hate every second.
We'll see you guys next time.
Play that music.